I guess, yeah, I'm not entirely assuming that you know, but, like, I'm trying to figure, like, I'm kind of rubber ducking, like, what? Oh, and I'm also, I guess, presenting it maybe in the hopes that Gold can just come in here and be like, well, there is a way. I wouldn't recommend. Like, I feel like if anybody maybe would have a better guess at how in the world this would work, it might be Gold, but... Oh, gosh, static variables, yeah, okay. Quick question, Lim. I'm not sure... Crud, Gold, do you know what scriptable objects, like the actual file, is considered, or is it just an asset file? Because I'm curious if this game is utilizing scriptable objects. And if, like, Lim is... It's just asset? Oh, man, that's so generic. Yeah, I don't think... unless Lim looks at, like, how they're structured, I don't think that would, give us, a clue of whether they're using them. Because part of my guess would be maybe they're using a lot of scriptable objects. And storing the information in those, because those are very, like, cross-scene... Everything is asset. Well, okay, you're also decompiling a game, so I have no idea what decompiled versions look like, so maybe I don't know if I can actually get information from that. Everything is asset. Everything is scriptable objects. Oh no! No. I mean, there are some people that really get into using them, so I joke, but it's not impossible that it actually is using a lot. But at the same time, I assume much more information visible than when trying to decompile custom engine games like Noida. True. Check the scripts to see if some of those are scriptable objects. Oh yeah, I guess it would be in the scripts more than that. I like scriptable objects. I'm not entirely sure how the scripting in Godot goes, but I hope... I think they do. I think Godot does have essentially a global, like, thing like that as well. Just, I don't know. It's weird with object-oriented programming that, like, you kind of have to go out of your way to just have a script running on its own and tracking data without, like, outside help. Like, I don't know, man. It's weird that it's kind of its own thing. Though it is also interesting that in the editor, in Unity editor, they don't, like, reset their values back to default and they kind of keep them. Which is slightly annoying, but, I wonder how many people have thought that meant they, like, work like save data. Oh yeah, everything's mono behaviors. Hello. Is that Updog's dog that they stepped on in chat? Like... Updog, your dog is here to punish you. Just they're peeking in. The punishment is now... No, what? Huh? But yeah, in Unity, it really does feel like everything is mono behaviors. You have seen them before? It appears that is their first chat message, so have I not seen them before? I am a face-blind fellow. Everything that acts on an update loop. I guess that makes sense. Oh yeah, scriptable objects. Those aren't mono behaviors. Those have to be... accessed, don't they? Also, I guess if you want to see what I've been working on, as I form some little pointy mountains over here, a very, very large Minecraft map That's just like a little world that I've had in my head that I wanted to form into shapes. So basically, I want to build a village up here at some point, but I needed a backdrop because it just felt weird that the map dropped off under this mountain. So working on that. Eventually, the top of this mountain will look a little bit more like these. So, I feel like periodically while I work on this map, when I'm working on the more boring gray areas, I need to, just like pop one back into the forest and be like, don't worry guys, eventually it'll look good, I swear. But, for now it is gray things popping out of the ground. I don't have their own, you can ping them in other files if that's what's correct. Would scriptable objects count as a form of DOTS? Data-oriented scripting or whatever it stands for? I actually don't know. Like, it's an entity component system kind of like adjacent thing, I would assume. You're having a bunch of scripts whose actions are decided by the output of a sort of master script that they query. Or is it the opposite? Actually, I feel like it's the opposite. Wouldn't actually, no, entity component systems are kind of like, it is a big script that queries everything else. Also, sorry, you came in immediately upon tech jargon entering into all of our consciousness. I was complaining about Unity, and now we're just talking about engine stuff as I desperately want to switch to Godot, but I'm stuck in a project. Wait, Gold, you're using past tense. We don't bit, we bite. we were more docile in the past. It's over. We don't bite. I mean, we're actively biting right now. We are very currently biting. You're talking about, and that is okay. Yeah, I suppose it's okay. Here, let me start. Let me start your crash course on how to develop video games. Step 1, cry. I love my bot so much. That is the best one of those it's ever made, and it's the shortest one it's ever, that is... How... I'm sorry. Okay, context. The bot makes up theories for what Noida's eye secret translates to. And it makes up really bad ones. And I should also note the bot is not actually like an AI. The bot is essentially just a Markov chain of nonsense. A well-made one by yours truly. I know you want the Hamas emotes. So through the randomness of the universe, which yes, at this point I half guess everybody's just from the Noida Discord, so that I can talk about that jargon, right? But yeah, the I just but it is not here. Just ominous, dude. That's, you know, that's the closest we'll ever get to an actual solution to the eyes, for sure. I feel kind of bad. I haven't worked on my video, and I haven't been in the channel in a while, and, I don't want to just vanish from the community, but I feel like, it's ironic, because I was doing my big, secret hunting run, But, oh no, I'm so worried that I'm slowly fading away from Noida. Maybe Noida is dying, and I'm dying with it. But gosh, yeah, I haven't been on the Discord too much. I chatted a little bit in like the game dev chat, and I posted the occasional Hamas, but really it's my Noida. I'm having a skill issue. Ah, that's where the secret spy network comes from. The upped dog. The lower dog. I wish it was something where I feel like we could, like, do anything about... See, this is where I need to get into Noida modding and make my own epilogue update. And then just, like... that, yeah, I don't know, that'll fix it. One more epilogue update by some random dude that didn't actually develop the game. But also has, like, a huge ego and thinks that he could, like, redesign certain things and, like, make a total refresh. If only I applied this ego to my actual game development. And didn't squirrel away the moment that, like, I have difficulties, squirrel away and vanish. And be like, oh, I'll start talking to the masses again once I have an update ready. I really do need to work. I've been thinking about this recently. The way that I kind of just vanish into the ether online a lot is not very good. In fact, perhaps it is troublesome. Because, it makes me very easy to forget about. I need to be living rent-free in people's heads. Ironically, so that they can enjoy the things that they enjoyed before, but forgot about because I stopped talking about them. Huh? Still active streamers, but Discord has gotten less active in general. Yeah, it's like I never really know with games, like, how the sun setting works. Like, the thing that gives me a little bit, the thing that gives me a little bit of hope for Noida is the Dust Force community. I come back to Dust Force every couple of years at this point, and it still has an active community. The problem, I guess, is that an active community can be just, like, a dozen or two people, but, like, it must be somewhat active, because I get pings from their Discord server every couple months, where they're doing, like, map competitions. So they have enough people to do their map competitions still. Telescope is my way to not vanish, I guess. I'm surprised how little people know me, for my work on the eyes, though. Kind of surprised, too, because you are the guy. Like, there's been discoveries and things from other people, but half the time, even if somebody discovers something, it feels like you've tread that ground before yourself as well. You're a bit more, like, Code Warrior was, like, considered the guy in the community because of his, like, professional level of skill in cryptography. But, like, as far as the actual dedication to the eye specifically goes, you were always the guy. So fun. YOHMI. Okay, so now I'm officially the one that has no idea what does that stand for? Oh no! Your only move is hustle. Oh, I'm not too familiar with that. It is time for culture exchange. What that? I'm assuming that sounds party game-ish, but I'm not sure. Once this one guy comes and threatens us to play it again or else. For a name like that, I guess that sounds correct. yeah, it's like streaming Dust Force is nice because there's always people that like pop in and do it even after all this time. But my problem is, okay, so Dust Force, I can get through like 75% of that game. Dust Force has one of like the highest skill caps of any game I've ever played, and that skill cap is above the game itself, which I cannot beat. So like oh my gosh, you'd think, oh, it's got some of the, like okay, so Dust Force has like one of the best soundtracks. In fact, you know what? For the rest of the stream, Dust Force OST. We're doing that for, you know. Wait, let me get that going. Is that too loud? I'm not sure. Probably. So Dust Force has this amazing soundtrack. It's really like zen and relaxing at times. And then you actually play the game. Fine. For this game and look for images to see if I can get an idea of it. The artist handle is King Crab 707. What the heck? I guess there's a couple Crab Masters as well. One thing that's like really awkward as a game developer whose username is Crabmaster is there was some or another game that I noticed the users of that game called the developer of their game Crabmaster, and I'm like, oh no. My title. Yeah, let me turn that down just the tiniest bit. 2D stick fight strategy game with like a dozen players. Is that so? 2D stick fight game. Is that the kind of game like those old Flash games where you throw grenades at each other and other weapons, or like is it like the Worms series, or am I thinking? Wait, no. Stick fight. You're not talking like stick figures fighting, you're talking control sticks, right? Wait, I'm not sure. I don't know which one to interpret this as. These are both valid in my head. One second, I'm gonna look up the game real quick. No. I mean, I can, okay, stick figures, but also fighting game. Okay, it's funny, I was just talking about, I was just, okay, yeah, it looks like the old stick, okay, so legitimately it's like the old, animations. It's not like the Flash games I was talking about, but it is like the, those old, like, animator versus creator, or animation versus animator, or, you know, those kinds of things, stylistically. But then it's, like, a bunch of players, so kind of Smash Brothers-y. Okay, I understand now. I see. I understand everything. Let's make a big amount of this. Yeah, where was my brain gonna go with after that? Dusk Force or Dust? Yeah, so that game has a really dedicated community. But yeah, it's like super chill, it's just like a 2D platformer. But it oh my gosh, it gets insanely difficult in the last few levels. It's an incredibly precise platformer. And I can get most of the way through the game, but like the last few levels, I always feel bad because I want to get good enough at this game to actually like beat those last few levels, but they're so crazy hard. But the music and the vibes of it all are so chill that it's the kind of weird game that if I wasn't careful, I would just start playing it repeatedly losing a level for just hours. Like, you can just zen out on trying to perfect a level because, I mean, you can beat a level just fine, but the problem is, to actually unlock more levels, you need to do, you need to get, like, S ranks and stuff. Plumbers are not plumbers, they are janitors. Yeah, so... It's really funny to me that I could never get good enough at the game to beat the last few levels. Meanwhile, the community is so dedicated that there is a custom level, which is every level combined, and one of the best players in the community has a video of them completing the whole thing S rank, and I'm still like, oh. And now I'm an old man, so I'll probably never be able to have that skill level needed. It's like, what do you mean you can do the whole game and I can't even do just one level at a time? But yeah, so every couple of years I get back into it, it feels like, but I'm getting to the point where it gets easier each time to get further into the game. But then I hit the wall, and I just feel bad because I do want to complete this one day, but I fall out of playing it. Now, that was also being punished by my old stream schedule. I did start a playthrough like last year that I got part of the way through. I could just continue it, and like, I think it would be, I think I could just, like, continue where I left off, practice it a bit. Now that I'm doing these four times a week streams, maybe, oh, hi, witching hour. Maybe I could go back and, like, so basically, if I had, like, 2 series going at the same time, anything else I was playing kind of just got thrown back into the toy box. So I might be able to fit in, like, just, you know, 1 Dust Force session a week here or there and be able to actually practice it enough to get good. So how's the night going? I am going to just smooth this mountain, turn it green, and then wrap up for the evening, probably? Because I'm actually over time. I'm, like, supposed to be doing just 4 2-hour streams, and uh-oh, we're at 2.5 hours. But yeah, Dust Forced I could definitely squeeze back into the schedule. It's gonna take a little while to smooth all this because the smoothing tool is incredibly slow. The tools in Axiom, I believe is the mod that I'm using, are very fast. Try playing it again sometimes. It's pretty difficult though. Yeah, like the skill level in Dust Force kind of comes in like 2 or 3 layers. The first is just understanding that it does not play like a usual platformer, and it has like a very snappy kind of feel to it. Once you get that down, you can start progressing pretty well into the game. But then, like, the sort of second layer to all of this is then getting the like 100% clears on the later levels. It just, I mean, the skill just starts curving up and just goes vertical eventually. Honestly, I don't play difficult games like that, so for me it's always been the crowning achievement of this soundtrack and the aesthetic of it and how chill everything seems is the fact that I put up with the fact that it's an impossibly difficult game for me to beat, because I could listen to the soundtrack for hours and not get bored of it. Like I joked to Gold today because I've been listening to it a lot, when I've been doing game development. I've got my emotional support Pilot Red Sun music, but I guess while streaming I have my emotional support Dust Force music as well. Like, it's truly, I mean, it's the soundtrack you're listening to right now. It's truly a really just lovely soundtrack. I need to double check. I think the musician for the music worked on something else recently, so I think there's more of these immaculate vibes out there somewhere. It's like, I feel like I put this soundtrack kind of on the same general level as those first few like C418 Minecraft soundtracks in a lot of ways. Like, it's not the exact same vibe, but I feel like in terms of like how much I like it. There's a part of me that feels like all of the lo-fi kind of like stuff that you can find on YouTube now, it's like this is the grandfather of all of those. Which, you know, not really, but, you know, I mean, I guess the specific aesthetic of the lo-fi, like, studying music kind of is in the same, you know. You gotta have that, like, little bit of etherealness underneath the beats. But, what was I gonna add to that statement somewhere in here? I don't know. Smooth! Smooth everything! There we go. I love how, like, to get the terrain to look the way I want it to look. This is, like, the only way that I've found so far that feels correct. Just roughen it up and then unroughen it up. Otherwise, it's too inorganic. Like, this adds a bunch of crusty little bits to it. Wait, have I been... Oh, crud. Oh, I've been smoothing it way too much, though. Oh, man. Oh, I thought something was a little weird with it. Oh, no. Okay, some of these mountains are gonna be different shapes than each other, because I can't be bothered to redo all of that. I can do it later if I really, really need to. I'm only supposed to be using this one, which leaves, like, a lot... Like, I know it's not much, but... I think it's... Well, no, okay, no, I think it... I see. Okay, no. Oh, thank goodness. I think when you click this and then change the brush size, that's the difference. Okay. Disaster averted. I think it's been the correct level of smoothness. I know I'm just, like, second-guessing myself when I could just trust my eyes, but, I mean, I didn't think this wasn't this smooth, but I guess... whatever. We're not gonna fix it. If I'm not happy with how I'm doing it, we're not gonna fix it. Though I do wonder whether the other, like, the two of this slightly more versus just slightly. Like, what does this one look like? How different are these two? I need to get a vibe of it. I will say, definitely kind of a thing that truly indie games excel at is the developer just finding some indie artist that they really vibe with and just getting them to do the music, or themselves being the music artist. Like, we were talking about Noida just a little while ago, and that's one of the things that game also benefits from, is just, like, the soundtrack is made from basically just a local band. The developer is, I feel like, basically friends with. And it is its own specific thing. Honestly, like, are there any other game soundtracks like Noida's? I feel like they picked a genre that is just, like, untouched for a lot of things. Like I'm not sure. You know, because it's very, I feel like very local to the like Finnish indie scene aesthetically. Like there's probably things that have a similar what would we, I feel like it's a level more than progressive rock. Is it like it's experimental for sure in a lot of ways. But definitely another unique soundtrack. I like music. I used to not be as much of like a music person. I've matured, I feel. I guess it's funny thinking about how just like boring my music tastes used to be. I still like the musicians that I liked back then, but I wasn't really into any bands. That much. And so it's kind of funny because like back then my thing was, yeah, I only really listened to video game music. And now I'm bringing this up when I've essentially just said like, oh yeah, here's a bunch of video game soundtracks I like. Wait, this is, wait a second, we're just doubling down on how I used to be. But the, I mean, I guess, again, this is where I feel like for all of the issues platforms like YouTube and whatnot have, I can kind of thank them for the algorithm introducing me to a bunch of like indie bands and stuff. It's really funny. Because I don't know what, I don't really know how it works with the YouTube algorithm. Where it'll just kind of decide, oh, you liked this, here's this, this, and this, that nobody else has really ever heard of. Or they've heard of, but they're not like popular yet. And you listen to them. And then you realize you're like one of the first people. Like, it's like, how much influence do I have on this algorithm in that I'm like, I clicked this, it's like a little popular at the time. And then like some weeks, or no, actually like a year or two later, you realize this artist that you've been listening to, oh, everybody online knows them, their video views have like shot up, and it's just like, oh, it gave everybody. Like, I guess I was the first curious, or not first, but I was in the early crowd curious to take a look, and then like everybody else kind of followed suit, because I feel like there's definitely gonna be a lot of people that are like, oh yeah, I was Jack Stauber fan years ago, I was a Lemon Demon fan years ago, you know, you probably have the Tally Hall fans that are like super glad that people finally are listening to them, but then also like you probably get that layer of like, you know, you have people like me that it's just like, you know, I started listening to them a couple years ago, or a good few years ago now, and it's like I'm past the peak of their, like, when the band was still active, like way past that peak, and trying to act like, oh yeah, I kind of got in a little early, and it's like the actual true fans that have been here the whole time are like, you're like a baby to us. Like, I don't know. I music taste wise, I am a baby, I suppose. But then I feel like it goes the other way around, where then I have like the bands that my dad liked, or whatever else. That it's just like, am I porting this like back to people by suggesting things like Alan Parsons Project? At this point, I feel like all these like little indie that got really popular online. I feel like, I mean, you'll never hear one of their songs, you know, if you're in, like, Walmart or something, but, you never hear, or you almost hear people talking about them online more than some of, like, the classic, like, prog rock bands and whatnot. Like, obviously, there's the classic rock stations are still playing the same classic rock they've always done, but, you know, how many people do I know that, are aware of, like, you know, more than, 2 or 3 of Alan Parsons? So it's like, I guess I got, like, really into a couple things where it's just like, man, I wasn't into anything, and now I'm like, lyric? I'm like digging into like, oh man, can I get the lore out of these lyrics? No, don't get the lore. Get the themes and intent first, then you get the lore. Sorry. I feel like I have to add context to that. See, fake ELO fans just know Mr. Blue Sky from Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack and don't know of all of the sad cowboy music. Which is honestly basically the only way I can describe an entire chunk of ELO's discography really is just like sad cowboy music. I mean, I'm pretty sure the one song basically goes, I want to be a Wild West hero or something like that. I don't know. I'm not sure what this conversation is anymore. It sounds gatekeepy, but I'm also trying to encourage people to try music. Who am I? What are my ideals? Do I have any? I'm really chatty today. But, actually, yeah, if you want, and I feel like I'm suggesting the peak, and it's like, wait, should I suggest something else and see if you like it? Or do we just shoot for the best one? Not sure how to feel about, like, you know, it's all downhill from here, you know? If you want to try an ELO song to see if you can get any vibes out of their music, I feel like my go-to of just, like, if you hear one, you have to hear, like, this one. Which is, I think it's Twilight, which is the opener of their Time album. I'd swear, just one of my favorite songs ever. Immaculate vibes, indeed. I feel like I was gonna add something to that, but, yeah, if you're only gonna listen to one, listen to that one. Okay, well, we're about at the end of, the stream here. So, I'm gonna paint this all green. I'm gonna get green with it real quick. And then I'm gonna start wrapping up. So I hope you're fine with getting green with it. Oh my gosh. The brush is a bit large, actually. Let's stay around 32. Now we only really finished one half of this, I feel. Because I still have to do some detail work over there before I'm satisfied with it, but I can get an idea for, like, based on this side, like, what I think this area will be like. I'm thinking pine trees. Also, I'm really... Okay, so if... It's weird that Subnautica is the first example that comes to mind in my brain, but if you've ever played an open world game and you've gotten to like the edge of the map where the developers clearly didn't care. Like Breath of the Wild's like a good example, I feel like. There are definitely a few areas, what I call liminal Hyrule, where like, so, you know, you go on one side of the mountain range and, you know, it's like, it's more detailed. There's got like, you know, fancier cliffs. They put effort into it. And then you go into the other side of the mountain range and it's clearly just like a height map. Because I don't have anything planned on the backside of these mountains. I feel like I'm pulling a liminal Hyrule situation here. But yeah, let me just make the map finally feel like a portion of it is actually like alive. Again, I'm incredibly impressed by the speed of Axiom. Just with how quickly, like Axiom is pretty much like whatever algorithm they're using is on a similar level of quality to the speed at which Ethan Gore's engine can modify terrain. Ethan Gore being that the one guy that has that really interestingly like just high render distance voxel engine. The heck is over here? Different types of stone that bled through, I guess. I really hope he does something more with that engine, or at least releases like something. It's kind of unfortunate. I think a lot of times about like different developers, like I think the Noida developers and whatnot, they'll work on an engine for years, and they'll kind of want to be like, okay, do we release this? Do we sell this to people? But then it's like, you know, you spend 10 years making a game with it. I think unfortunately by the time you make a game with an engine, you have probably like aged it a bit. In terms of like, it's not as top of the line as things that are just like somebody that dedicatedly just worked on an engine. Oftentimes it develops like crust and whatnot. Like I kind of wonder whether like the Noida developers want to sell the Falling Everything engine, but like then I'm not sure at this point with everybody else making their own voxel games if anybody would actually like buy it. Whoa, look at this hole. What did I do? I don't know why today I am just yapping. Usually I feel like I'm under commentating. Now I'm like, man. Did I actually like get into the zen of working on this? Like the Minecraft Create streams that I've been doing, usually I'm so busy trying to like logic my way through like, oh, I gotta make my engine better, and I gotta squeeze some gears in over here and do this and that. I feel like I hardly hold a conversation for streams like that. And it's just like, clearly this means something about what I'm doing here is no thoughts, head empty, and allowing me to focus on the actual like building of the terrain. Okay, do I consider the area around the village to be complete? Also, okay, I gotta do one thing real quick. So, can I do noise painter? Maybe? Noise painter. I'll turn off that. Let's add a little bit of noise to this. Just a couple, some octaves. There we go. So I want the tops of the mountains. It just feels natural if the tops of the mountains aren't like all grass. I mean, they can have a little bit of grass, but the question is like, how pointy do they have to be before I add like stone? I'm really not sure what I'm entirely doing with this. It just, as generic as it may seem, it just seems correct. Mountains are stone on top. So like, I guess, like, because it's like the grass is struggling to like hold on, I guess. So it's like, do I have to have like some of the edges be... I don't really know. I'm gonna leave that. I don't even care. Some spots can just be bald. Speaking of the create mod in Minecraft, by the way, just there was a topic I was thinking about at the start of the stream. I had mentioned it to Lim off stream. I'm like, well, okay, I could just, you know, save it for the stream, buddy. Apparently, from the sounds of it, the creators of the Create mod, which is a Minecraft mod focused on automation, like, you know, conveyor belts, cogwheels, like, it's fun. I play it a good bit, and I play, like, it's that mod and then a bunch of other mods connected to it that other people made, but the main developers of the main mod, apparently, they've been hired by the Hightail developer, which makes me curious about the future of both, like, the mod and Hightail. Like, does this mean Hightail... Is Hightail embracing the fact that, like... Oh boy, there's that car that misfires again. I don't know if this means Hightail's, like, embracing the fact that, like, a huge amount of Minecraft's player base, like, a massive amount of them, like, I mean, we all just install these mods and start doing, like, weird little automations. I didn't smooth this. Oh, that's huge. Yeah, we're all a little addicted to the automation stuff, for sure. I mean, it's a good fit for survival games like Minecraft, I think. But the question of it is, does it entirely fit Hightail's vibe? But then again, I know me and you, Lim, were kind of... We touched on it for a moment when we were talking the other day. The kind of issue that all of these games have the same kind of starting feeling. Like, it's kind of inescapable that you're doing... you punch in some resources and then... Just the crafting loop is very similar in a lot of them at the start. And there's kind of, like, even in, like, factory building games, there's kind of no way around it. Like, Create adds a couple things you sort of can do manually, but you can also kind of skip them if you're clever about it, I guess. Okay, I'll continue down the mountain with a little bit more of this detail work. But I'm not going to care as much about these areas. I think these areas, so long as the peaks of the mountains are mostly, like, stone in a lot of this. Oops. I mean, I guess it makes sense, again, that it's like the mountain is, like, highly eroded, I guess. But would this imply too much recent erosion, or that it just, like, crumbles just enough that things don't stick to it. I don't know. Like, there's like there's always like a geology thing in the back of my head when working on stuff like this, because like over here you have the cliffs, so this must be like a stronger, almost like bedrocky kind of material. Maybe not bedrock, but you know, like just something more solid, whereas like eventually I guess all of this would be plateaus where everything else is kind of just eroding into smooth like surfaces. Oops, missed a spot. Script brush. I'm gonna increase the size of this and just do like 1 click each. In fact, there's not a way I can do like a brush that just has like a noisy fall off, is there? I guess I could do just like increase the amount so it's more guaranteed. A little bit too big of a brush. Trust me, we're not going to go too much over time, and it's going to be great in a second once I finish some of these details. This, I feel like, so long as I set this up correctly earlier, this should accelerate pretty quick in terms of, like, the work. Man, this area, for being just, like, a side area of the map, it's huge! Like, I'm certain things happen in this side of this world, like, you know, there's villages and life goes on kind of thing, but this is, like, for being, like, kind of, oops, out of the plot, I've kind of given it like quite a little unintentional focus here. It is merely backdrop, as I said. Like, I'm not sure if I have to do every single one of these, but you know. Again, I need to double check if there's like brush fall off. Like maybe script brush, you could probably do something like that with. Okay, we're almost at 3 hours, so I really gotta wrap this up quick. Oh my goodness. Quick. Dot the I's as fast as possible. Quick. Quick. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, we can redo it later if we really care. Which I'm not sure if I'll ever care that much. I mean, man, eventually I'll probably add some rivers out this way. This area is a bit too big to not have lakes and rivers. Again, I can always just delete all of the trees if I have to. And put them back in. No. The bot still doesn't know it should be making fun of me for not ending my streams. It still thinks I'm on a 4-hour schedule. Okay. You can kind of tell I haven't been working on my bot at all lately. The fact that I've been doing this schedule for like a month now and it's still set to the old setup. You know, I never really considered, because this bot, like the original version of it was before AI kind of took off as a thing. Do people get scared? Like, I hope people don't, like, look at it and like, ew, AI, because not actually AI. Like, I never thought about the fact that people hate AI so much that my like manually programmed like son is like probably like makes people think it's just like some AI generated like thing, and when it's not, it's like, oh no, I put love into him, I swear. Actually, what if I random the seed and then click these again just to kind of see if it'll fill in a little bit more at the top? Yeah, I know like some people do find it a little annoying because again, it does kind of do the same few jokes. I really got to work on the poor bot. I've neglected my son. But I would hate for people to hate it because they think it's AI. Oh man. Okay, so we got the tops of the mountains generally set. I guess I'll set those too. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do the one. Very conflicted. So now is when, where is it? The stamp tool. So we've semi-oak forest and then some pine forest. So I can as we mentioned before, so I guess semi-oak forest is the other one, right? Like so semi-oak forest probably, actually I forget how are my stamps set up when I did this last. Wait, why does it still have, wait, what is semi-oak forest? So that's semi-oak forest. Some pines forest? Oh, okay, that one's the one that doesn't have... So semi-oak is this one. Then what do I have? Where's... Do I not just have then a lesser? Huh. So then what's this one? Because this one doesn't have pine trees. Oh wait, it does have pine trees. Wait, no it doesn't. It has a couple. Okay, never mind. I see. It has a couple. That makes sense. I forgot how I set it up. So we do this. Kinda just like around. Oh wait, I don't have the filter set. Tree correction basic? Yes. Okay. So we'll just kind of do this kind of around here. Okay, there we go. And then we switch to some pines and oaks. And we fill this all in up to about here. Kind of shimmy this around the hills. I think I was doing trees first before as well. So I think this is fine. Okay, now I need to make a variant of this that removes these. Yeah, so I gotta make another variant that gets rid of the birch trees completely. We can keep. I might also maybe get rid of the willow trees. Yeah, remove the willow trees. So now it's just kind of oaks and pines. So we've got semi-oak forest, some pine oaks, and then Mostly pine oak. Save, I guess. So this can kind of be our sort of transition biome up onto the mountain tops. For me, it's very important to kind of have your biomes. It's like all this work on the mountains and then we cover them up. It's really, it's a bit silly. I will admit, it's a bit silly how this process works. But it's like you gotta get the baseline good, or everything else is for naught. Oh, we actually ran out of soundtrack. That's another reason why maybe I need to be wrapping up. So I think the thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna have these sort of come down and be like kind of in the valley. So it kind of wraps around into the valley. I love how fast this is. Ah! I'm gonna use the contours of the mountain to kind of decide. Oh gosh, it's so quiet. It's judging me for not setting up a longer soundtrack and then also going overtime. Okay, I'm pretty cool with that. You're stuck here with me. Me and my silence. Me, you, and the silence. Okay. Oh my gosh. The moment we start putting trees down, everything just comes together so fast. Mostly pine oak, and then we modify this. I guess it's mostly oak pine. So these should actually be really just uncommon. All of them. Actually, maybe I don't have to put them down. Like, let's put 10% on these. Yeah, we made some of these real nice and common, didn't we? Why is this one slightly lower than those? I'll never know. And then I'll just make these all kind of 100%-ish. This one can be called basically pines. Oh, it's so quiet. It's too quiet. Wait, it's... Oh, it went to... YouTube just paused. The soundtrack didn't run out. YouTube paused me. Oh. Yeah, so up in this part of the forest is gonna be... Ooh, that is actually really immediately dense. I think I need a smoother transition. I've seen forests have transitions like this, but that's a little much. So I'm gonna go back to what was it again? So we got basically pines, mostly pines, and what we're gonna do to fix this is we're gonna really lower the base chance down a lot. This will mix in a bit more of the pattern it had before, but we'll just do that on the edges. We've been doing a lot, and the game is actually starting to struggle a little, I think. So I don't really need to put them there. Oh right, the pattern's the same every time, so that's not gonna change anything if I do that. I do want, like, yeah, just a couple layers down here. Put some like holes between it, I guess. Yeah. So it's a little odd, but it's working. It's working. Oh, I just realized, I think the trees are spawning on stone. Whatever, that's probably fine. Oh, wow, that's... I thought that would be thinner than that. Gotta get those edge areas of the trees in. Really just flood that in a little bit. Clean as it can get. Okay, now I'm gonna go up here and flood the entire top of this with the other preset. Basically pines. This should be fine. It is pine after all. Which I'm realizing I might be allergic to. I think my allergy season is pine season. I'm not 100% sure, but I do have a tree nut allergy, which I feel would probably mean a pine allergy is not, like, a good combination. Or a pine allergy would maybe explain some of the other weirdness I've encountered with myself. Okay, I think I'm liking this transition up the mountain from, like, you got your birch and your occasional willow tree to having, like, more and more pine trees until it's, like, all, like, densely, mostly pine trees up here with a couple oaks still. I like my bio, like, transition, just whatever you would consider this kind of thing. Of course, I put way too many trees in one of the spots, so I'll have to fix that later. So this area... You know what? Actually, I'll put the... Well, how do I want to handle this? Because I feel like these dense, like, pine ones are, like, the tops of the mountains. But I also could just, like, do it so that it's got, like... Yeah, I guess I could do, like, little patches of them. Streaks. Occasional, like, circles. Just things to make them look a little bit natural and not just like they're just, like... This area is pine, this area is oak. But yeah, this whole area. I mean, I do want fields in the valleys, and I might cut trees down to do it later. Funny enough, would the easiest way to actually cut some of these down, assuming I have the trees set up right, I think if I delete the logs, it should naturally remove the trees rather than leaving, like, little cutoffs where, like, the edges of the forests are. So I could use Minecraft's mechanics to my advantage, I think, in that way. Oh yeah, this is coming together. Mostly pine oak. Yeah, so we'll fill in all these, like, little in-between areas with that. Well, actually, what we'll first do... I don't really seem to have a thing. We'll do this, like, really light. Oh, I say really light, and then for some reason the way the chances on this work is kind of insane. We'll just... Oh yeah, this is happening! Indeed, Sonic. Sonic says this is happening. It's kind of funny, though, that, like, the way this all kind of works out the part of the map I care the most about kind of gets worked on last. Again, you know, before you can paint the foreground of your painting, you have to paint the background. Essentially, at least. I am wondering if there's any way I can essentially fog a war like the rest of this. Like, maybe I could just paint like a huge amount off into the distance green so that it at least blends in. Also, I'm not sure if you heard, all of my joints just pop immensely a moment ago, but they sure did. Okay, so now let's go back to whatever the default version of this was. Start filling them in. So I need the basically pines one for like up here. Gotta be careful, I'm near the edge. Oh my gosh, it's 9 o'clock! Well, it's 9 o'clock, and it's getting dark, and the sun is falling from the sky. I've never left so early, and you may wonder why. Something, I don't know. Tomorrow morning on the plane, no banana make you go insane. Floating back to busy town, no banana make you want to frown. Do you want a banana? Peel it down and go, mm-hmm. Do you want a banana? This banana for you, ba-ba-bum. Might be vaguely allergic to bananas as well, but not enough to worry me, and I like bananas too much to stop eating them, so unless it becomes a problem, that ain't happening, Chief. Bananas got me through the hardest times. Do you think I'll abandon them? No, I'll work through it. It's actually really weird because, like, okay, so with a tree nut allergy, you kind of get a good idea for, oh yeah, my throat is scratchy, something's wrong here. You can second guess it a bit, but it's like when you're first in denial because, I don't know, tree nuts are nice. With bananas, the weird thing with it, I'm still not sure if I consider it, am I allergic to this, or is it just coating the back of my throat with like a thick amount of like membrane or whatever it has. Because like I will eat a banana and then I will like cough once. Whereas like, you know, if I eat a tree nut, I'm coughing for like it'll get scratchy. I want to clear it. I'll be like dealing with it for a little while and then it'll go away. The banana is just like once. One little like and then like whatever that feeling is just goes away generally. Like it's really weird. Forget about banana when it's stuck in your throat. Hello, when you're stuck in a choke. Yeah. The very fitting lyrics perhaps for where I took this conversation. Yeah, just forget about that banana for a second, okay? Okay, as I get to this portion of working on this section, I haven't even added grass yet, and I feel like this is like, yeah, real good. How much it's like this area is just. I might not need to really add details to that part of the forest just because I'm not going to be doing much with it, but I mean, I also probably could get away with. So I have, what other brushes here? I know I have like forest trash, Do I have, where does this go? Leaf litter locations, mushroom places, plant places, under trees. I guess, is it above grass that I need for this to work? Let me see here real quick. I think it's a... Wait, that's not correct. Did I fix this? I thought I fixed this. This seems incorrect. It's not that one. Tall grass fix. Nope, not that one. No, that, yeah, I know what that one is now. Not plant places. So I feel like it's above grass is the one I want. Also I have to, you know what? I might accept this is good enough. I can do the detail work next time because I need to end the stream and also I really need to pee. Most aggressive and disturbing bit in the song? Oh yeah. Kinda. But yeah, today's progress was pretty good. I know I didn't have to like go as crazy with the detail work for this one in terms of like, yeah, I could kind of just leave it as is in a lot of ways, but I gotta remove the trees here. These trees really actually shouldn't be here. Like this part needs cut out. This whole area is generally a an opening. But yeah, I gotta do here's our Breath of the Wild moment, like, bah. But yeah, I've got to do... Go down here. Yeah, all the grass and everything, but my goodness, this area is big. This area is huge. I mean, it just, you know, and then there's like another valley over here. This is actually weirdly familiar to the place, like the kind of Appalachian Mountain kind of area that I grew up in terms of like these valleys that are just kind of, they've got like little mild mountains between them, kind of just hills, but also kind of mountains, forested. So this is just, yeah, Blue Ridge Mountains up in here. But, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. The fact that I figured out how to use the brushes decently, I'm pretty happy with, yeah, how quickly I can put forests together after I get the landscape done. There we go. Just, there's our screenshot for the evening. Or something, I don't know. Green with it. I can't wait to actually get to like the village building portion of working on the map. Oh, the lighting just like changes so weirdly sometimes. Green with it. Again, it's struggling a little bit. I think it's updating a lot of level of detail things in the background while I've been playing. But, yeah, so, like, the idea here is there should be, like, a water wheel kind of house, like, here. Or the ruins of it, at least. A village that kind of, like, sprawls up this little area. Some paths that go out. Eventually, it would be really nice to finish the basic... Like, this is supposed to be like a little village here. It almost feels so small, but I guess everything is like farms and whatnot. I mean, I guess compared to the space I have for the other village, it's a bit larger. What the heck? It really wants me to, like... Oh, my goodness. But yeah, so... You know, this actually feels like we're making progress, and also this is another reason why I absolutely love Distant Horizons, just being able to like go up into the atmosphere and be like, well, here's our map so far. But yep, that's where I'll wrap up. Thank you all for watching. I hope my ramblings are enjoyable and my map making is decent. Tomorrow is Gaia Beyond. Saturday I'm doing a draw stream, so if you want to watch me sketch little crusty creatures or something, or if you have any silly little crusty creatures you have ideas to sketch, then yeah, come by Saturday. Yep, you know, notifications on the Discord and on my Blue Sky. And goodbye, everybody. Don't die, everybody. Be good to each other, everybody. Sploosh. Bye.